and I'll start talking. Okay, we're live. Hello, and welcome to another Monday's live session. Again, as always, if you've got any questions, just type them in the chat. I'm more than happy to answer any questions about anything. It doesn't have to be about the topic we're talking about today. So today we're going to be talking about groups and the importance of groups. I'm talking about groups on Facebook and groups on LinkedIn, because they've had quite a lot of attention recently by both platforms. And there's an awful lot of things that you can do now with groups. So what are groups? I get asked a lot, what are groups? And what's the difference between a group and a page? And should I have a group or a page for my business? Well, the simple answer is a page is like your Facebook page, a LinkedIn business page. It's a bit like your sort of mini website. You control the content, you decide what goes on there. A group is like a forum where you bring people together of all different from wherever all over the world, but you bring people together with a shared interest, with a common interest. So it might be, for example, I'm a member of a lot of social media marketing groups where we share advice, tips when things go wrong, share updates. So again, it's really, really useful. And I have my own group. So for those of you that are watching on Facebook, this is my live group. And again, I just go live in the group. I don't go live to my page. It's a video that I do for members of that group. Your groups can be private and your groups can be public. Again, it's entirely up to you. But groups, particularly on LinkedIn, kind of died a death a bit. We've had groups on LinkedIn for ages, but what happens is sometimes on groups, if they are not managed, you end up getting a lot of people just putting spammy sales messages on there. They join groups to promote their business. Well, that's not what groups are for. If you want to do some sales, then either do it on your own pages or invest in advertising. Those groups that aren't managed and just have lots of sales messages just don't get any interaction, and they don't add value. You've got to be really, really clear about what value you want to add to your group. What's the objective of your group? It's about adding value and having a shared interest. And the beauty about groups is anyone can post in there. Any of the members of the groups can post content, add value. It's about creating a conversation. And the reason why LinkedIn and Facebook are really promoting and putting more tools into groups at the moment is simply because it's all about building a community. It's about building a community around your brand. So it's really important, if you develop a group, to have a key objective, what you want in mind, understand who your target audience is and what value they're going to get from it and what they likely want to see in that group. And then you can grow a group that's really active. So what are the new features that we're seeing in groups at the moment? Well, we've got some really nice things that are coming up on both LinkedIn and Facebook. Now, LinkedIn does tend to follow Facebook's trend. Now, Facebook groups are by far and away in the lead. They have loads more features. But LinkedIn in the last few months has been getting a lot more interesting. So now when you do a post, and this applies to both, if you write a post on your business page on Facebook or LinkedIn, your followers won't get a notification to say you've written a post. Highly unlikely, unless they're active in your pages. However, if there are posters in your, if you post in your groups, generally your followers, group members will get a notification. Again, a fantastic way of promoting what you're up to. There's lots of In LinkedIn now you can review your posts and you can review your capability. There's a little bit more control. You can add videos in there. You can add files into your posts as well. And you can invite different people. You can now put a cover image as well on your LinkedIn group. So again, your branding, you can not only have your logo on there, but you can actually put a banner at the top, which relates to your branding. So again, LinkedIn are beginning to put more tools into groups, and that is likely to increase. Facebook groups offer a lot more. There's a lot more things that you can do with Facebook groups. You can share files on there. You can have, there's all different tabs that you put down the side that'll show your videos, your photos, your files. You can put recommendations to other business pages on there, so that those go on there. You can even run courses in Facebook groups. There is a huge amount of things you can do with groups on Facebook. They can be completely private, so people have to have an invite to join or request to join. You can put a questionnaire on there to say, if you want to join this group, fill in this questionnaire and we will see if you meet the criteria. And the reason why some of these groups are very stringent, the administrators of the groups, the people that create the groups, they decide what criteria they want people to join. So they decide on the criteria. Some groups are completely public and anyone can join. The only issue with that is those are the groups that tend to have a lot of sales pitches in there, and it's more difficult to manage. So as long as you've got a public group and it's managed very well, you can put rules in your group that people have to tick to say they've agreed to. You know, rules about different language to use and no selling. You can put themes around your groups. So on Thursday, you know, promote yourself on a Thursday, or because businesses want to promote themselves, or top tips for Tuesday, things like that. You can add ideas. And again, I live stream in my group 12:30 every Monday. So I'm consistent in there. And it's really, really important to have an objective for your group so that you're adding value. The beauty about groups is because it's a community forum, people might ask you a question and other people in the group might answer. So again, it's building that community around your groups. You can run polls in groups as well. So if you've got a nice group with this very supportive community and you need some advice on your business or your community that you might be growing, you could run polls and say, oh, well, I'm thinking of doing an event on, I don't know, I'm thinking of doing an event on this date or this date. Which date is best for everyone? And you can run a poll and people can vote to say, actually, this date might be better. You can ask people advice on your business and things like that. You can say, you know, would you prefer a social media review online, or would you prefer me to come and sit down and do a social media review with you? Do you prefer that personal contact or is online enough? Is it sufficient? I've run polls for, oh, hi, Heather. Nice to see you. I've run polls for competitions, and they work quite nicely. So in my group, in my previous role, when I was working in the video games industry, we had a competition where people had to send through the tallest tower for board games that they could, the tallest tower. And we had two that were so close, and obviously a lot of them were in America. I couldn't actually physically measure them. So I put it on as a poll. These are the two finalists. Come on, guys, you guys vote. Which one do you think should win? So again, it's about creating engagement in your group. But groups are not all about you. Groups should be there for people to post their own content. Again, it's a community forum. So you should never monopolize your group. You should really encourage engagement and encourage other people to put content on there, share tips and best practice and questions. You know, you've got to add that value to your group. So one of the things that we've mentioned is that we get notifications. So this is an absolute bonus to our groups. But the other one that we now get in Facebook as well is you get group insights. So you can see how your group is growing over time, which is really nice. You can see how many new members you've got and things like that. And again, it's just encouraging to see how your group grows over time. But the other thing to do is if groups do take time to manage, and you might decide that actually it's quite a lot of work to create groups, because you've got to keep up with content, you've got to keep up with the objectives, you've got to make sure people are behaving in your group, and it does take time to grow your groups. So one of the things to do is, if you don't really have enough content for your group, you don't know what to say, is join groups. There are a huge amount of groups out there that you can join. Join meaningful groups and add value and add content. So in groups now in Facebook and in LinkedIn, there's a vast majority of topics you can join, and you can join them. You can share your knowledge and become an influencer in group, let people know that you know what you're talking about, or you can join them for self-improvement. You know, I join a lot of different groups for different things, and again, use them to your advantage. But if you're looking to promote your business, the worst thing you can do is go into a group and start posting sales content. People don't want to post sales, don't want to see being sold to in groups, unless it's specifically a group for selling things. So if you're joining groups, add value. It's about networking. You wouldn't go into a networking meeting and just go in and go, hi, come and buy my stuff, because people would immediately switch off. They don't know you. They don't want to be sold to. If they wanted something, they could Google it. So what you need to be doing is going in and building a relationship up with people in that group, saying, oh, hi, I'm Bex. How can I help? Or did you know about this? Oh, I just heard about this. This would be helpful for everybody. And sharing your knowledge and expertise, but not just sharing your knowledge and expertise, commenting on other people's posts and engaging on other people's posts within that group. And that's how you begin to build up your image and your profile within groups. People immediately see you as someone who's helpful, knowledgeable, and really add value to that group. The beauty as well, one of the top things about engaging in LinkedIn groups is if your headline says, you know, how you can help businesses and how you can offer that. In LinkedIn, by engaging in groups, people will become curious, click on your profile and find out what you do and how you can help their business. So it's kind of a mini marketing message. So that works really well in LinkedIn groups. Now, obviously, this hasn't been available with Facebook. Facebook, you've always had to join groups as an individual, which is no good if you're joining groups from a business perspective and you've had to join groups as your personal profile, which obviously doesn't say anything about your business, or at least it shouldn't. So the beauty now is that we can join groups, and again, this is relatively new, you can join groups as your business on Facebook. Now, this is quite exciting. And we've had so much taken away from us recently with Facebook on business pages. They've massively cut our reach with our posts on business pages, because obviously they're wanting us to advertise, but there's just been so much business content being shared to people's personal profiles that Facebook's realized that's not what people want to see. So Facebook has given us a little olive branch to us businesses and said, right, okay, here you go. You can now join groups as your business. So what this means is you can join groups as your business page, and you'll have your logo on there and obviously your company name, so that when you start engaging with groups, if people are clicking through, they're not going to your personal profile, they're going to your business page. And the best thing, this is a really top tip, is that if you join groups as your business and you put engaging content into, do posts that are really engaging and really helpful, anyone that likes that post and anyone that engages with that post, comments or whatever, you can then invite them to like your page. And that, to me, is a fantastic opportunity. Something that has been lacking in groups since they were started. And now we can do it. And it's really, really, really exciting. So it's really going to help you grow your Facebook pages, because it's difficult. It is difficult at the moment, unless you're spending a lot of money on advertising to grow your Facebook pages. So by getting active in groups that are relevant to your industry, where your ideal customers are likely to be hanging out, adding value, creating a conversation, getting people to engage in your posts, you can then invite them to like it. So that's really exciting. I really enjoyed. Really, really hallelujah moment when I saw that one. So that's really good. So I don't know, for those that are watching, I don't know what experience you've had in groups, and if you've got any top tips, just pop them in the chat and we can all share them. But things that groups work really well is sharing exclusive content and things like that. Sharing offers, you can share offers, but as long as they're not too salesy, obviously. And you can schedule as well. If you have your own group, you can schedule your content, so you don't have to write all your content live. But groups are, it's a great way of developing that community around your brand. It's a way of your potential customers, your existing customers, giving you feedback and talking about a common interest and a common theme. So it's a great way of learning. So again, just to summarize, if you've got a group, make sure you've got really strict rules, make sure you manage it, and you've got a bit of a schedule of content that's going out there and you're adding value, encouraging people to comment and post in the group. And then if you've not got a group, then start getting active and start joining relevant groups as your business and posting valuable content in there. And then you can invite them to join your groups. And that's groups. So if you've got any questions, just pop them in the content, and hopefully it was useful. If you're on watching on YouTube, please don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to my channel. It's a new YouTube channel, so I am looking for more subscribers to try and grow my channel. But please only subscribe if you find it interesting. I don't want people just subscribing for the sake of it. And up and coming exciting things that are happening from my perspective is, if you need help with Facebook pages, increasing your reach on Facebook pages, because it is getting more difficult, then I've got a workshop coming up on I think it's the 19th, or is it the 12th? Should have checked that really, shouldn't I? I'll put it in the comments anyway. And also a Facebook advertising workshop coming up on the 10th of July. So again, if you're in Warrington, if you're local to Warrington, I've got some spaces left on those workshops that are coming up. Next week, we're going to be talking about, what are we going to be talking about? It's just gone from my head. Oh, that was it. Yes. Next week, we're going to be talking about LinkedIn business pages, because there's some really exciting developments on LinkedIn business pages. LinkedIn business pages have been dead. They really have been dead. You didn't get much traction at all. So LinkedIn have been doing quite a few changes to the pages recently, and it's quite exciting. And one particular area that's just been launched, which is quite exciting, which I'll be talking about next week, which we can help to promote our business, which is great. So again, we'll be talking about LinkedIn business pages next week and all the fantastic new features that are on there. So don't forget to join me next week, next Monday, 12:30 as normal. And in the meantime, if you're in my Facebook group, don't forget to post any questions or any feedback, insights. It's all welcome. And if you're watching on YouTube, any questions in the comment, just let me know. And I will see you all again next week at 12:30 on Monday. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.